Right, guys. We're going to do a little bit of a video, really, just on a few tips for people going to the Philippines for the first time. Um, Starting off at the airport, I suppose. When you're coming out, be careful with the taxis. Um, make sure their meters are running and all that when you're getting in. Normally, when you come out of Terminal 1, which is the terminal for international flights, anyway, from the UK, it is. Not sure about elsewhere. Um, what you need to do is you come out of the arrivals, and then you go towards where the yellow taxis are, and there's like a little kiosk thing there. You tell them where you're going. They give you a little slip which you would give to your driver. I think they give you two pieces. One's for you, one's for the driver. You give that to your driver, and but as I said, once you get into the taxi, make sure your your meter's running and all that. And then you'll be good. I had a little incident with a taxi driver. I asked him in the first place that if he had change of a 1,000 peso note. This was a taxi that I flagged down. Anyway, he said yeah, he did. So when we got in the taxi, done our little trip. About 300 pesos. It was quite a way we went. Anyway, so I'll give him the 1,000 pesos, and he assumed that the rest of it was a tip. Anyway, things got a little heated because he wouldn't give me back my change. Anyway, I was right outside the window to the office for the hotel we were staying. A couple of the staff just come outside and sort of stood there. And I think because they come outside and I was asking him for my change and he wasn't giving it, I think he got a little embarrassed because, there's the bit that you don't want to, they don't want to be show face and all this, So anyway, I got my change back and that was that. But so that's your taxis. Tricycles. Try and negotiate your price before you get in the tricycle. Before you get go anywhere. All tricycles are different sizes. I'm quite a big guy, so I used to have trouble sometimes getting in and out of some of the tricycles. So you just got to sort of choose the one which is going to be a bit bigger. I'm 6'2", so they're not easy. They're not designed for 6'2" guys with wide shoulders. Yeah, so that's that really. Yeah, so just make sure you negotiate your price, or your price, and stick with it before you go off in a trike. Now we get to walking. If you're from the UK or the US or places like that, you're going to cross the crossing, like the zebra crossing, and the traffic stops. Well, not in the Philippines. Nothing stops. You still just got to walk on the crossing and avoid the cars. But I always found a quick hand up, like that in front of the car, they seem to stop, so you can sort of get across there. But just bear that in mind, that they don't stop on the crossing, so don't expect it. And the other one with walking, you could be walking through the sort of somewhere, some of the little provinces, or even in Manila. And it might not have rained for days and days, but you'll still find this black puddle of murky water. Well, avoid it like the plague, because that's what they call the smelly water. So basically that is sewage that comes from the houses and bits like that. So just beware of that. Don't go standing in it, because you'll have very smelly feet. Yeah, so that's a bit with the walking. I always would suggest that you take like some walking shoes or something like that. I've got some walking sort of trainer type of thing, which is I took. So you've got a solid shoe, because some of the surfaces you're walking on are not the best. Yeah, and then obviously your flip flops or your Crocs or whatever as well, them sort of things. And just be aware of the traffic around you, because obviously you're not always walking on the pavement there. You can be walking in the road as well. So that's the sort of things. Going to the mall. If you're going to enter a mall or places like that, expect for, if you've got a bag, they want to look in there. If you've got a bag with like a bag of shopping or something like that, and you go into a supermarket, usually you have to go and put it in some little box thing behind some reception. You can't just take it around the store with you. Normally you have to put it there and go back and collect it after they give you a ticket. So that sort of thing. Yeah. Bus services. From the airport, you've got the Genesis bus, which runs from Terminal 3. That goes down to Clark and SM Clark Mall, which is near to Angeles City. So if you're going down to Angeles, that sort of way. I think some of them buses stop in Passai, but not most of them. Mostly they're pretty direct, and they run sort of pretty much 24 hours a day. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're nice air-conditioned bus, usually from the airport. They're pretty good. You don't really get too many people. You don't, not normally full. So unless it's some special time of year or whatever, they're pretty good. I have also used Victory Liner from Dual and Passai. They're quite good buses as well. They're sort of air conditioned and all that, but they do sometimes get a little bit busy. We've actually been on one of the buses where the driver's gone round, or the conductor has gone round the back of the bus and got some buckets like out of the boot, and then come back and put them down the middle of the aisle so people can sit on these buckets in the middle of the aisle. So that was quite funny. But yeah, so that weren't too bad. But the buses are good service really. You can get it's a bit hard to try and work out where they're going, and that sort of thing, but you get there in the end. Jeepneys, they don't stop like the London bus, or pull into bus stops as such. You do get the jeepney terminal. Usually outside a mall, there's sort of usually a pull-in spot and all this, but not most of the time. They're just sort of along the side of the road, and they see you walking, they'll slow down to see if you want to get on, that sort of thing. Most of the times they're about 12 pesos ish, depending on where you're going, and they're quite cheap. But I found, being a bit of a bigger guy, you've got to bend over a pretty lot to get in some of them. I found to use the older style ones if you're a bit bigger, because then the roof is a bit higher, so you can sort of get in easier. But yeah, they're designed for little people. But yeah, that's the sort of transport side of things. When you go into the market, If you've got your Filipina with you, let her do the negotiations with the store people and stay back out of the way. Give her a bit of money, let her deal with it, right? And then you'll find you'll pay a lot less for your vegetables, because otherwise, if it's you dealing with it, unless the store is got the prices marked, you could be being paying a bit more because you're a foreigner. But apart from that, most of the time I tend to try and go to the stores where the prices are marked, and then there's not an issue. But yeah, either that, or if you're cooking food at your own place or whatever, let her go to the market or whatever herself if she wants to, and that way, if you're not there at all, you're going to get the best prices. The only time is I've had a bit of a thing like that is in Angeles. There's a little fish store, and they do the prawns and all that stuff. Well, one day my partner, she went there, she got some prawns, and I don't know, she paid about 300 pesos or 350 pesos for these prawns. And anyway, the following day we were coming back, and I said to her, should we get some more of them prawns? Anyway, I went there with her. We was going to get the same amount, and he wanted 600 pesos instead of 350. So hence we never got it, and I never bought any more from there again. But you're going to expect it a little bit. They do like to do a little bit of price hiking if you're a foreigner, but usually it's not that bad. But yeah, that's them sort of things. Not going to go into all what goes on in Walking Street and all that, because it's not really my thing. And there's plenty of other bloggers doing that, so I won't be doing none of that. Yeah, but I always, where I work there is just treat people how you want to be treated, right? And you won't have a problem. You treat them with respect, they'll treat you with respect. Anyway, guys, that's it now. It's only a short one, really, just a few little tips. If anyone wants to know anything or any little bit of advice, stick it in the comments, and if I can help you out, I'll reply. I do read and reply to all my messages. We're only just getting going, really. So please like and subscribe, guys. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.